This is Eli Gold, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
From preps to pros and everything in between, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome into this Thursday edition of Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are live from the Lee Company studio, 7 minutes past the hour here, and happy to be with you on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon.
Thursday.
Thursday. It's also Thursday.
It's one of the two.
I don't even know where Tuesday came from.
I don't either.
Listen, this morning I went, where was I? I asked somebody was like, man, it's Thursday already. I'm like, it's Thursday?
Yeah. Trust me.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Let's not go back to Tuesday.
Let's not go back to Tuesday. Good idea. Good idea. All right, so it's Thursday. We are live on Twitter and our website, sm-tnsports.com, which is powered by our YouTube Live. So if you're watching us there, it is our YouTube. And you should definitely check that out. Got a big show for you today. Had a pretty good day elsewhere. I would ask you how you been today, Mo, but I know how you been because we've been out.
We have been out.
We've been out doing the thing.
Trying anyway.
It's been fun. It's been a good day. So, got to eat some delicious chicken at Party Fowl in Nashville. If you have not had any Party Fowl chicken, there's a location in Cool Springs. You can go check it out there, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Solid.
Lawson, what did you do today?
Nothing.
You got so, like, you took a deep breath like you were about to just splurt out a bunch of stuff, and then...
No, it's been a lazy day. I need to be doing stuff, though.
Well,
You sound about half asleep over there. I bet you took a nap today, didn't you?
I wanted to, but I didn't.
This is a napping as 22-year-old.
I mean,
I ain't mad at him.
I'm making up for it for not doing it when I was a kid.
I'm a little mad at him. I'm a little jelly. 'Cause
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not mad at him for taking the naps.
naps are fun. Naps
because
are good.
naps are good.
Naps are good.
I wish I had taken a nap about 2 o'clock today, but I would have been driving, and that wouldn't have been good.
No, because I was
You were in the car
with you at that time. So yeah, yeah. Let's no naps.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Oh, man.
What is that joke? When I die, I want to go quietly in my sleep, not screaming like the passengers in my car. Yeah,
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're still not on Facebook.
We'll figure that out later.
Oh, well.
It's probably something to do with the distribution channel that we use, and that's okay. We'll figure it out later. I'm really excited about today's show because we are going to get a chance to talk with TSSAA Executive Director Bernard Childress for good reason, because something we had been talking about off this show, off the air,
Came about.
came to fruition today. We were wondering if it was going to happen, and it has. The NIL has reached high school. So we'll talk about that with Bernard
It's always
Childress.
good. It's always enlightening when we get to talk to Bernard. I always enjoy talking to him, and I think he enjoys talking to us, especially here in his hometown. So
Exactly.
looking forward to it here in the next segment.
We'll do that. We'll talk about the Braves and Phillies. They get it on tonight at 6 o'clock. We're going to talk SEC Media Days and just kind of a recap of what we've heard throughout the week and what's been the most intriguing and interesting stuff. Mostly Mike Leach, not surprisingly. I think everyone expected that. So we'll get to some of that as well, and we also we'll talk with Monty Hill of the Murfreesboro Post. Talk a little Conference USA East Division that includes Middle Tennessee State University. So it's going to be a good show. Got a lot to get to, and first we have some local to Murray County sports news. And this is just kind of continuing. I guess this is the final shoe that's probably going to drop from this, isn't it?
I'm hesitant to say that because just when you think
there is no more,
there's
is more.
Yeah. A couple of other former Columbia Central coaches have landed at Spring Hill as offensive coordinator. Scott Tillman and Russell Wagner, a volunteer assistant, are from Central, are headed to work with Ben Martin up at Spring Hill. Meanwhile, also earlier this week, Antrez Booker and John McDonald were confirmed as members of John Moore's staff over at Columbia Central. John McDonald, who had worked with Zion Christian football last year and remains baseball coach at Zion Christian. Again, now joining John Moore's staff. Antrez Booker, I think, had previously been on the Lions staff and is returning, and I think he's going to work with the freshmen, is my understanding. So a couple of moves over there, and I'm sure that there will be more as Coach Moore looks to bolster his staff.
Yeah, we were curious where Scott Tillman was going to end up, if anywhere.
If anywhere.
And I think this is positive for him. He'll be a solid addition to that staff, just as we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just think the numbers bode well for Spring Hill. They can get some more hands-on work for some more kids and that kind of thing, and that's never a bad thing. So, if they can benefit from this upheaval at Columbia Central, that's a good thing.
I'm pretty interested to see this John McDonald situation over at Columbia Central, though.
I'm real interested to see this John McDonald situation over at Columbia Central because, like I said, he remains as baseball coach at Zion Christian, but I believe he's going to be in the building at Columbia Central. So
that's interesting.
That's a characterization that you could put on any number of athletic situations around this county.
Yes, the entire county
interesting
is just full of unique and intriguing storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we like to bring them to you through Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, this radio show.
And we try to bring them in as timely and as comprehensive a fashion as possible.
Yes, we do. Secondly, big news for CA's Griffin Cooper.
Yeah, there's a post on Columbia Academy's basketball Facebook page, Bulldog Basketball. Griffin Cooper, the rising sophomore, has been invited to the CP3 Rising Stars National Camp that'll take place next month over at Greensboro, North Carolina, obviously hosted by Chris Paul of the NBA runners-up Phoenix Suns. So this is a camp that he's been doing over there for quite some time, pretty prestigious, underclassmen camp. And so this is a pretty big deal, I think, for Mr. Cooper. little exposure on a national level.
That's pretty solid. Hey, I'm just scrolling through the internet as I am wont to do on this show, and I have to ask you a question, Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Gostis be here?
Gostis Bear.
Hold on, no. You Gostis be here, man.
You got
His nickname is actually Ghost Bear.
You got
Or just Ghost.
there.
You Gostis be here, man. Come on. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, this guy's name is Gostis
Be here. Okay, makes sense. Who is he?
He was a defenseman for the Philadelphia Flyers. And
Okay, who is he now?
he was basically literally given away because the Flyers got nothing in return but cap space. They gave.
That's not necessarily a giveaway these
I mean,
days.
well, they gave him away and some draft picks just for cap space.
So they just wanted to get him off their books,
yeah,
basically.
basically.
So who'd they give him to?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Oh, okay.
The Coyotes.
Okay.
I just thought his name was cool.
We were talking about the Coyotes for something else, right? Was that where Landeskog
No.
is? Oh,
No.
okay, my bad. It all starts to run together for me. As Chris and I were talking earlier today. The same thing that I've gotten on to a bunch of folks about in their football/Titan followings, I basically am guilty of when it comes to hockey. I'm not a hockey fan. I'm a Nashville Predators fan. You know, when they're done, I'm pretty well done too.
He's like, who is this guy? And I'm like, I don't know. If they don't play for Nashville, I've never heard of them. Yeah. Literally could not tell you.
So that's kind of where you come in,
Yeah.
That's why we have you. All right. That's
among other things.
And that's why my mom brought me to the 2016 NHL All-Star game because she's like, you know all these guys, I don't. And I'm like, all right.
Well, I'm sure she'll appreciate you outing her like that too.
well, you know.
Well, I mean, obviously, there were other reasons, but
Yeah.
that was one of the reasons.
So, you guys ready for all the excitement of the end of SEC Media Days and the wait for the OU Texas announcement?
I can't wait for there to be a superior UT in the SEC to Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I'm sorry, do you watch college football at all? Like, can you have any idea what's going on in
I
college
know how
football?
bad Tennessee is going to be. That's what I'm saying. A better UT than Tennessee.
I'm not necessarily sure that's accurate, but
I don't
okay.
think
Shoot your
Texas is
shot.
better, but you do you, man.
You'd be
you.
close.
Yeah,
I mean, Tennessee for the past few years has been atrocious to watch.
Again,
Yeah,
have
you've
you
not
watched
watched
college
Texas,
football
have
in
you?
the last 10 years?
You've not watched Texas, have you?
No.
Okay,
But I have.
That
I have
explains a
seen
lot.
extensive amounts of Tennessee.
but you've not watched Texas.
Yeah, so you don't just no.
Chill for
Yeah.
a minute.
I don't think that's the key. Anyway, let's
we will tomorrow, shameless plug, be speaking with Ryan McGee of ESPN
it's true.
to kind of recap SEC Media Days and other college football goings on. So
He's the wrong guy on that show for me because Marty is he's a country music fan, a NASCAR fan. He's the quintessential Southern boy.
well, I'm sorry,
But-
but Marty doesn't follow me on Twitter.
But Marty doesn't follow you on Twitter, so we'll take Ryan and be happy about it.
Okay.
So there you
Hopefully
go.
this won't get back to Ryan and affect our being able to get him on tomorrow.
I don't think it will
Chris
at
didn't
all.
want to talk to him.
It's not that I didn't want to talk to him. I'm just saying that of the two, Marty and I would have more to talk about. Luckily, we don't have Marty, and we don't have to spend time talking about country music and NASCAR.
On a sports talk radio show.
Exactly. All right, let's give you today's rundown before we get out of here on the first break. What do you think?
This is the rundown.
In baseball action on Wednesday, the Cardinals defeated the Cubs in 10 innings, 3-2. It was the Royals 3, the Royals 6, the Brewers 3. In the opening game of a doubleheader in Atlanta, it was the visiting Padres 3-2 in 7 innings. Game 2 was suspended in the bottom of the 5th with the Padres leading the Braves 5-4. Will be picked up at a later date in San Diego, apparently. Minor League Baseball, day game action yesterday. The Nashville Sound snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 7-1 10-inning victory over the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimps. In MLS, the Columbus Crew and the Nashville Soccer Club played to a 0-0 draw.
This Thursday rundown is brought to you by Barry B. Coble of Crest Point Wealth Management, who offers personalized wealth management strategies for clients based on where you are in your financial journey. Go see Barry at Crest Point Wealth Management, 700 North Main Street in Columbia. Securities offered through registered representative Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Crest Point Wealth Management and Cambridge are not affiliated.
You know, when the rundown at the top of it says NA, I take that to mean no sponsor.
Well, I didn't make that up. I guess.
Yeah. In Olympics action on Wednesday night, softball, Team USA defeated Canada 1-0. Canada defeated Mexico 4-0. Japan beat Mexico 3-2. And Australia defeated Italy 1-0. I'm thinking some of these games were today.
Only Australia and Italy.
Oh.
That was early this morning, about 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
Today's baseball schedule is the Braves and Phillies. They have a first pitch at 6:05. That's on Valley Sports South. And, of course, on our sister station, 103.7 WKRM, 4:55 pregame. The Giants and Dodgers take part in a late game tonight, for us anyway, 9:10 first pitch in Central Time Zone. That can be seen on ESPN+. That is your Thursday Rundown. All right, when we return, we have Bernard Childress coming to join us, talk a little NIL, and probably more, if I had to guess. So stick around on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back right after this.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
Local sports talk you'll only find here. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Hey, welcome back for segment 2 of Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. I'm Maurice Patton. Chris Yao is efforting to get TSSAA Executive Director Bernard Childress on the phone. Also in the studio with us here, intern 2 Lawson Smith. Coming to you from the Lee Company studios here at Kennedy Broadcasting on West 7th. Looks a little quiet out on West 7th as we speak. Definitely a little hot out on West 7th. It's been a warm one. And Chris still feverishly efforting to get... hang on.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's not really technical. It's more of my inability
Mental difficulties.
My inability to have his phone number apparently available. And I don't know if it's in.
It is.
It is in here? Okay. Well, that would have been smart to know. Yeah, see, this is why I don't always do the
thing.
This is why I don't do the audio and the hosting, because this is what happens. So I'll be right back.
All right. While we wait on Chris and hopefully Coach Childress, what we wanted to talk to Bernard about is a piece of information that we gained while we were sitting at lunch today regarding NIL. Apparently, there is a high school basketball player over in North Carolina, Mikey Williams, one of the top prospects in the 2023 recruiting class, has signed a contract with Excel Sports Management to handle his name, image, and likeness rights, according to Bleacher Report. And so he does not actually have any NIL agreements, but he has signed with representation. And
that's the first step.
Yeah, pretty much. The Lake Norman High School standout has gone a long way in promoting his personal brand, highlighted by over 3.2 million followers on his Instagram account. So this is something that we've kind of talked about more off air than on air since this came down and became official on July 1st. Just what the impact of it's going to be on high school student athletes, if at all. And now that someone has actually dipped their toe into it, we figured we would go to somebody who would have some unique insight and could answer some questions for us. And so we go now to the phone line with TSSAA Executive Director and Columbia native Bernard Childress. Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing, Maurice? How you doing, Chris?
We're doing well. I'm doing better than Chris, probably.
That's true.
Chris is feeling a little harried these days, Bernard, because he's kind of multitasking. I'm just talking, and you know me, I'm pretty well able to do that. But as I reached out to you earlier this afternoon, about an hour and a half ago, and mentioned this Mikey Williams situation to you, high school junior, who has signed with a sports management operation to handle his NIL rights. And we were kind of curious what the impact of this was going to be at the high school level, or if there was going to be an impact at the high school level. You pretty basically told me that it won't be an impact at the high school level in the state of Tennessee.
Well, I can tell you, as I said, Maurice, right now, we have a rule against anyone receiving money. Our amateur rule basically states that, a student athlete cannot receive any anything of monetary value for their skill or knowledge in the sport in which they participate. And, I think I can say it's not our position to debate, the merits of the current college athlete, earning money from the name, image, and likeness. But it does not change, has no effect on high school athletes at the current time. I can only speak for Tennessee, but I can pretty much feel confident in saying that current high school student athletes all across the nation, the state associations pretty much have the same rule in place that prohibits student athletes from receiving anything of monetary value. It was news to me that this young man had already signed with someone, but to this point, I understand that he has not received anything.
Right.
So that's kind of my question is, long ago, Antonio Langham, right? He spoke with an agent and agreed to use this person as an agent for his professional career, and was then deemed ineligible by the NCAA. Would signing with with representation be a violation of the amateur rule?
Not in Tennessee. I don't know what it says in other states. But what we said, in looking at our amateur rule, it says that you cannot receive anything of monetary value. Now, if they sign with someone and then they normally don't sign for free, that's the problem. And I think I listened to Maurice right before I came on. He was talking about, and I have no idea about this young man, but him promoting himself, and that's what we see this is all about, is self-promotion. We still contend that high school sports are much different than college sports. It's not about self-promotion. It's about the team, not an individual's own personal pursuit of excellence.
And he has said, he's quoted in this article on BleacherReport.com, the NIL rules provide a new opportunity for someone like me who has put in so much energy and effort into building a community. I'm excited to be the first high school athlete to make this move. I love to hoop, and I love engaging with my fans, and look forward to continuing to share my journey with everyone. So as long as he does that, and as long as he's got representation but does not benefit financially from it, then if he were in Tennessee, he would be okay. But as you said, Bernard, it's hard to think that he would have signed with a representative and not gotten anything out of it financially.
That's so true, Maurice. And listening to that statement, as an executive director here in Tennessee, I can tell you that not only would I totally disagree with what that statement said, most of the directors that I know, well, all of the directors I know, would totally disagree with the primary reason that overwhelmingly majority of our high school students play sports is not for self-promotion, but it's to have fun and spend significant and meaningful time with their peers. Focus is not and should not be on themselves rather than the team. So I would argue that, when some are saying that student athletes should be able to profit from their name, image, and likeness in high school because they're working for the school, very simply, I would argue that the privilege of students that have to participate in high school athletics is to be part of the total educational experience. We have to be still, and we said this all the time, we're secondary to the primary mission of the school, and that is for those student athletes to get their education. We're designed to enhance the education of these young people and help them prepare for life as adults in their chosen profession. It's not about self-promotion for us.
That makes complete sense, and we are speaking with TSSAA Executive Director Bernard Childress. You know, when we started hearing about this and the idea came down, obviously this was legitimately based upon a lawsuit that was brought forth because of video games. That's
Yep.
the truth of it. and
That's exactly right.
You know,
Bannon case.
You don't really, I mean, this is not something that's an issue at the high school level, but I think a lot of people were just curious if it could trickle down. So at this point, what do you, I mean, you guys don't stop players from being able to have summer jobs or anything like that. I mean, if you're working, you can get paid to work. You just can't be paid just because you are taking a picture and putting it on Instagram. Is that right?
That's exactly right. It's just for your knowledge or skill in the sport in which you participate.
Gotcha.
We have student athletes that work all the time. They work throughout the season in different jobs. That's totally, you're talking about something that's totally different. And I think when you look at, Bannon case and all of the things that came down as far as lawsuits that came down after that, you're looking at, universities, college athletes saying that these universities are making millions of dollars, and they're not getting any money whatsoever for their knowledge and skill of the game. I don't know if any high schools or middle schools making millions of dollars on football and basketball contests. There really are any other sports as far as that's concerned. Well, they're trying to fund their programs, and they're trying to provide, like I said, programs for student athletes to participate in to enhance their education. We have to provide ways to get kids to school because they learn when they are in school. And one of the ways the kids end up in school or going to school is because they enjoy being a part of their team and the requirements that it takes to participate on their team does enhance their education and prepares them for the future.
Bernard, one more thing, just as we have been scrolling and talking about recent NFL news and whatnot, and you can tell me it's too early to talk about it, or you don't know if that's the answer. But the NFL talking about their COVID rules are now basically if you can't play, you're now forfeiting. Obviously, last year the TSSAA deemed things no contests. Have you guys made any decisions on what the COVID protocols will be for not being able to play in high school?
Well, we already have something in place. Last year, we operated, and it's amazing you said that because I just had a staff meeting today, and I put it back on the August agenda to be discussed. And we probably will continue the way we were last year. And basically, this is what the rules said. If you could not play due to a COVID outbreak, we asked the schools involved to try to make that contest up sometime during the regular season. And if they could not make it up or cannot make the game up, then the opposing team did receive a forfeit for seeding purposes only going into postseason. Now, the team that was involved with the COVID-19 that had the outbreak did not receive a loss. because there is nothing they could do about that, So different from what the NFL just came out with, we would probably continue and recommend to our board in August that we continue asking schools to try to make it up during regular season. And if they can't, the team that lost the game that was not involved with the COVID outbreak would receive a win for, again, postseason seeding purposes only, but the team that had the outbreak would not receive a loss.
Will contact tracing be similar to last season, or have guidelines changed?
We're probably we are working on our protocols, our guidelines, and it is too early for me to talk about that.
Perfect.
Because the plan is that we will have something out to our schools and to the media next week.
Okay.
Are they going to change? Yes, they will change, and it will basically be. But we're looking at that, working on those now, and we're trying to follow the CDC guidelines going forward.
All right, there you go. Mo, anything else for the man?
Not at this time. But fortunately, the one good thing that I know is if I do have something for the man, I can get a hold of him.
And we appreciate that more than anything.
Oh, man. Bernard, thank you so much for coming on with us for a little bit this afternoon. Always a pleasure.
Hey, always a pleasure talking with you all, and no problem at all. Give me a call if you need to talk about anything.
Thank you, sir. Stay cool today.
Okay.
All
You all do the same.
All right, we'll talk to you.
Bernard Childress, Executive Director of the TSSAA, joining us here. That was very helpful. And
insightful,
incredibly
as always.
insightful on that last part too. That was kind of big.
Well, the first part wasn't bad either. I mean, basically, if you are a high school athlete in the state of Tennessee attending a TSSAA school, think twice about NIL, because there are guidelines that prevent that. So, just for what that's worth.
Yep. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. They get ready to take the field tonight, hopefully. Braves have been hampered by rain quite a bit in the last week. So we will talk about it, though, on the other side of the break. So stick around on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as reported by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Hollins Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low, low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meat.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Yeah, that's trash can juice.
Speak for yourself.
Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, Lawson Smith in studio with you today. If you are in the Columbia Spring Hill area and you have nothing to do Saturday between 10 and 2, even if you do got stuff to do between 10 and 2 on Saturday, make time to stop at Spring Hill High School and the Experience Spring Hill event the Spring Hill Chamber puts on annually. Happy to be back at the event. Last year there was not one, obviously. This year, however, there will be. So Spring Hill High School, 10 and 2 on Saturday. Mo and I will be there. You can get a high five, take a picture with the celebrities of Mo Patton.
Celebrities?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a big celebrity.
I mean, yeah, he is. I'm not. You're not.
No, I'm definitely not. It could be, though.
Y'all really need to check on y'all's definition of celebrity.
I got no definitions.
Yeah.
My definition is if people know you.
Well,
that's fair.
I can tell you, people know Mo to the point that he's like, I don't know who that guy was. I don't know who that girl was. Like I told you, man, they've seen your face in the paper. They have an unfair advantage. Your face is in the paper. They know you. So
it's not been in the paper in a while, but yeah, your point is made, though. Yeah.
I mean, so it is what it is. But yeah, you can come see us Saturday, 10 to 2. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Bring coffee.
Yeah, because we will be.
It's been a while since we've been up that early.
Right?
2 whole weeks.
2 whole weeks, and I am here for this.
Yeah.
All right,
should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing who else is there.
It's going to be a ton of folks. And if you want to experience Spring Hill, that's what this is. This is you want to meet the business owners, the people who have businesses in Spring Hill. You want to meet them all in one place. Maybe you didn't know about a bunch of these businesses. Well, it's real simple. You just go to this and meet everybody and get some cool stuff. Typically, people are handing stuff out. And if you have not gotten a chance to get our magazine, which unless you've come by this radio station, you haven't had a chance to get this magazine, we will be handing out our All-Star magazine absolutely free to anyone who would like one. So we'll have plenty of those on hand. So come by and grab an All-Star magazine and say what's up. We'd love to see you. All right, let's talk Braves as they tried real hard to get back into that game yesterday after I gave them so much crap early. In the second inning, the Braves scored 4 runs and didn't even hit a home run. Scored 4 runs without hitting a home run.
Strung some hits together. manufactured some runs.
It happens. It can be done. Or as they say in Major League, it has happened before.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think that's, besides the bullpen, I think that's one of the most frustrating issues with this team. You know what they're capable of offensively. I mean, I don't think there's another team in Major League Baseball that has scored 20 runs twice this season.
Yeah.
Braves have.
You're right. And but as we said in that one stat, like 20% of their runs have come in 5 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a team that can score a lot or they don't score
at all.
It's feast or famine, and that's just unfortunate. But that's what you get with this team, and that's what's so unfortunate for our bullpen is, yes, here's the thing. The bullpen still lost 22 games. So, now they didn't lose
yesterday.
Either of the two yesterday.
Well, the second one hasn't been lost yet.
Hasn't been lost. That's correct. The second one has been suspended and will be made up in San Diego. And as you said, with the Braves,
that's a home team. There we go.
So, and the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Whoever that is at that time, I guess. That's always interesting when you suspend a game and then you pick it up weeks later. The way the rosters change and that.
Yeah,
kind of
what
thing.
happens?
It's even more interesting at the minor league level. But
oh gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never thought about that. That would be wild.
Mm-hmm. Help is on the way, though, because scrolling through Twitter, as we are wont to do, came across a tweet here. Chris Willis, the editor of TalkingChop.com. Brian Snitker says that Huascar Ynoa, through a live BP, is still tentatively scheduled to pitch in a game next Tuesday in Florida. Ian Anderson played catch in Atlanta and played catch today in Atlanta and reported no issues with his shoulder. So there's some good news.
That's positive. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, and I think it's kind of important for us to, mention, which we talked about this yesterday, but, what do you do with Huascar Ynoa once he does come back? How do you decide where to put him?
Love to have to answer that question.
Yeah, I think it's great that, he's given himself a great situation to be in. I mean, he's given the Braves a good situation. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
We want you, but we don't know where we need to have you.
Yeah.
So,
but we can use you somewhere. So, again, the Braves and Phillies open their 4-game series tonight at Philadelphia. The Braves go in at 46-48. Phillies are 47-47. 6:05 start time. Pregame should be now on our sister station, 103.7 WKRM FM. Charlie Morton gets the start for the Braves, 8-3 with a 3.69 ERA. Matt Moore, 0-1 with a 5.25, goes to the bump for the host Phillies.
This is a big series. I mean, this is the Phillies, by all of the projections, are now the projected NL East winner.
Well, I guess with DeGrom sidelined, you feel like that's going to impact the Mets adversely. Fair to think. Yeah. So, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the Braves got a chance to make up some ground here again. Philadelphia coming in right at 500. Braves 2 games under 500, where they have spent pretty much the entire season. They've not been over the 500 mark all year. So
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say they will be over 500 after this series. I think they sweep the Phillies.
Sweep?
I think they sweep the Phillies.
I think they'll be at 500. I think they go 3-1. I don't think they sweep.
I think they're going to sweep this series.
I would not be mad if you were right. Let me put it that way.
You've got the right part of the rotation coming.
Yeah. And the Phillies
aren't great.
They're not great.
They're 500. They're just as inconsistent as the Braves are.
Every bit.
So,
yeah,
I'm just gonna
throw
this
it
one
out
out
there. There you go. Throw it up against the wall. See if it sticks. I'll tell you what. If they had this guy throwing, they'd have an excellent shot. This day in Braves history, on July 22nd, 1997, Greg Maddux needs just 78 pitches in a 4-1 complete game victory over the host Chicago Cubs. It's the fewest pitches in a 9-inning complete game since Bob Tewksbury threw 76 for the Cardinals in a 1990 win over Cincinnati. Cubs managed just 5 base runners on the day, tying the game on a Sammy Sosa 4th-inning RBI groundout before Chipper Jones scored Jeff Blauser on a 5th-inning sac fly, and Michael Tucker added a 2-run homer in the 7th. Jeremy Gonzalez took the loss for the Cubs in the 2-hour, 7-minute affair. Maddux strikes out 6, walks none, and improves to 14-3 on the year.
And the only reason it took 2 hours and 7 minutes is because the Braves actually had a little bit of offense.
Yeah. Probably could have come in at under that if it had been 2-1. So.
Yeah, I mean, Maddux was. You want to talk about shortening games? That's the way to do it.
Throw strikes.
Go figure. And don't waste pitches on 0-2. It's insane. Greg Maddux was absolutely just, and would not be in the game today.
I am firmly convinced he would not be drafted. Isn't that crazy?
It really is, man. He was so good.
Sound snapped a 4-game losing streak yesterday with a 7-1 10-inning win at Jacksonville. Day contest. We discussed this a little on yesterday's show, actually.
We did.
The Sounds 41-26 continue their series against the Jumbo Shrimp, 34-32. That game starts at 6:05 today. Weston Wilson yesterday 4 for 4 with a 3-run homer in that 6-run 10th. Sounds improved to 6-2 in extra innings.
That guy's been clutch.
He's been hot, too.
If nothing else, he's been freaking clutch. Weston Wilson, baby.
He rises to the occasion in close and late situations. So, good for him. Good for them. Again, 15 games over 500. Continuing their road series here in about an hour and some change.
Yeah, 6:05 Central. So it's going to be a really interesting weekend for baseball, as we told you yesterday. 5-game series for the American Legion State Championship between Post 19 and Post 60 out of Giles County. So definitely keep abreast of all of that right here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today and sm-tnsports.com. Again, come see us on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. 10 to 2 at Spring Hill High School. When we come back, we've got Monty Hale of the Murfreesboro Post joining us. We're going to talk Conference USA, their Western Division.
Eastern
Division. Sorry, Western Kentucky's in the Eastern Division. I get confused.
We talked El Paso yesterday. That's
the
only way I knew.
We did talk El Paso yesterday. So we will get Monty Hale to talk CUSA on the other side of the break. Y'all stick around on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We will be right back to the Lee Company studio right after this. Talking high school sports daily on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today with Maurice Patton. I'm Chris Yao, and this is 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
Vaccinations on the rise. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. They're picking up in areas hard hit by the Delta variant. White House COVID coordinator Jeff Zients says several states with the highest proportions of new infections, including Florida, Arkansas, and Missouri, are seeing a higher rate of vaccinations than the current national rate. The Delta variant is now the predominant strain in every region.
This virus has no incentive to let up, and it remains in search of the next vulnerable person to infect. Please consider getting vaccinated and take precautions until you do.
But CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says no change in guidance for now, with masks still considered not necessary in most cases for fully vaccinated people. NFL teams are being warned a COVID outbreak among unvaccinated players could lead to forfeiting a game, and players on both teams wouldn't get paid that week. This in a memo from the NFL commissioner obtained by the Associated Press. The league says more than half the teams have vaccination rates of more than 80% for players. New federal teams are taking aim at gun trafficking in several cities.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced the launch of 5 strike forces in L.A., D.C., New York, Chicago, and San Francisco, which he says will battle illegal gun trafficking networks. Garland, speaking at ATF headquarters, said gun violence tragedies impact communities, but also law enforcement officers.
Everyone around this table knows what happened in Chicago with 2 ATF officers being shot and a task force officer being shot. And so this strikes not only at the communities we serve, but at our own community of law enforcement.
Last month, President Biden said many of the guns used in crimes in big cities came from states with less restrictive gun laws. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Stocks finished higher after wavering over higher jobless claims. The Dow up 24 points at the close. America is listening to Fox News.
School's out for summer! But if your business is running QuickBooks, you'll never get a break. NetSuite by Oracle is the #1 cloud financial system. No matter how big your business grows, with visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more, NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program to those ready to graduate.
Head to netsuite.com/Fox right now. netsuite.com/Fox.
An Ohio energy company will pay hundreds of millions of dollars to settle federal charges in a statewide bribery scandal.
Akron-based First Energy admitted to a count of honest services wire fraud, conspiracy to deny the public services by means of kickbacks or bribes. It will pay a $230 million fine and continue government cooperation, which acting U.S. Attorney Vipal Patel says includes
their own internal investigation, identifying issues and facts, and sharing that information with the government.
Patel says First Energy not doing so means its admission of guilt.
Can, by way of our agreement, be used against First Energy in any resurrected prosecution.
The crime netted several arrests that included the former Speaker of the Ohio State House.
Fox's Gernal Scott. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says a select committee to probe the Capitol riot will move forward despite a Republican boycott after she eliminated 2 of the GOP members proposed by Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
It's my responsibility as Speaker of the House to make sure we get to the truth on this, and we will not let their antics stand in the way of that.
McCarthy calls it a politically driven sham committee. At least one Republican member, Wyoming's Liz Cheney, remains appointed by Pelosi. A new poll finds most Americans approve of what's in a bipartisan infrastructure plan, but disagree on things Democrats want to pass on their own.
8 in 10 say yes to spending more on roads, bridges, ports, and new water pipes. Beyond that, opinions are more divided in the new Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll. For example, about 2/3 of Democrats and 1/4 of Republicans want more funding for electric vehicle charging stations. 3/4 of Democrats are in favor of expanded child tax credits and free community college. About 1/3 of Republicans support the expanded tax credit, and 1/4 support the free college. There's more Republican support, about half, for free preschool programs. 80% of Democrats want that.
Chris Foster, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Running a business shouldn't have to mean paying expensive and confusing retail rates for postage and shipping. Join the nearly 1 million businesses using Stamps.com. Get discounts up to 40% off post office rates and now up to 66% off UPS shipping rates. And never go to the post office again. Because Stamps.com brings the U.S. Postal Service and UPS right to your computer with postage on demand. It's easy to start and you'll be printing postage in minutes. Print postage for letters and packages and schedule pickups right from your home or office 24/7 with Stamps.com. Plus, you get discounts you can't even get at the post office with some of the lowest rates you'll find, all in one place. With Stamps.com, there are no long-term contracts and no risk. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone, and enter code FOX for a 4-week trial, plus free postage and an easy-to-use digital scale. Save time, save money. Sign up at Stamps.com. Click the microphone and enter code FOX. That's Stamps.com, code FOX.
reps to pros and everything in between. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Young.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joints, coming to you live from the Lee Company studio. Front Porch Sports headquarters of WKOM 101.7 FM and WZYX 94.5, The Eagle, down in Franklin County. Happy to have all of you along with us on this drive home. Week number 2 of our time change, but it's been fun, been real. Ain't been real fun yet because we ain't figured out just quite how to navigate the time, how to navigate the productivity around the time on this show. So that being said, we are happy to be here with you and hope that you are having a good Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. And I am parched. Not as much as you though, Mo. You mentioned you wish you had a drink. It's a funny story. I was driving in, and just before I got here, I saw the gas station on the right, right there at like 6th Street or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I better go in here and grab a drink. So I did. And I wish I had texted you and said, hey, do you want a drink?
That would have been fantastic. You need to work on being a better teammate.
I really do. It's on me. Although, we're supposed to have interns for that kind of thing.
Dude ain't brought us nothing.
I mean, text me what you want.
He brought me a plaque and he brought you some peach cobbler. So.
With pecans in it, but that's okay.
Yeah. It was still
good, as a matter of fact. All right, joining us now as we continue our college football preview coverage of the NCAA FBS division. We've not quite gotten into the FCS yet, but we will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the OVC and the ASUN will certainly be talked about on this show, as it typically is.
Talked a little SWAC earlier this week.
We've already talked to SWAC. Yeah, we can't talk a whole lot about it because there's not much to talk about since Dion left the press conference. So anyway, we're going to –
Coach Sanders.
I'm sorry. we don't need to have that discussion on this show because there were way too many F-bombs dropped. Don't look at my Twitter. We're going to talk Conference USA, and we're going to talk the Eastern Division of Conference USA. I apologize for saying Western earlier. The Eastern Division, as we talked about the West yesterday with Steve Irvine. If you missed that, it's on our podcast, in the Hour 2 podcast, sm-tnsports.com. Check it out. Folks, now we have, from the Murfreesboro Post, joining us, Mr. Monty Hale. Monty, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Chris, when we talked to Steve Irvine yesterday, Steve was coming in from the beach to speak to us. A little bit of a theme here because Monty Hale just got back from Tybee over on the Georgia coast. So
where I got married.
Monty, I'm a little jealous, and I'm not ashamed to say it. So I hope you had fun over there.
Well, I did, try to kind of get reinvigorated for the upcoming seasons that we've got, and I feel like I did a pretty good job of it.
Well, congratulations to you. Hey, obviously we talk weekly with Chip Walters, the voice of the Blue Raiders, and he pretty well keeps us up to date on MTSU football goings on. But what are your feelings about Middle with the season a little over a month away, and how they stack up in this Conference USA Eastern Division this time around?
Well, I think Middle is a lot like several teams in Coosa this year. They're unknowns. I mean, who didn't play last year, who is playing this year, who came back, who went ahead and graduated and, went on with their lives, who did they get out of the transfer portal. But I will say this:
into the transfer portal, a.k.a. Asher O'Hara.
Yes, exactly. I think if you look at Middle, they've got a lot of players back. They've got a couple guys that opted out last year that are transfer running backs, and really that's the big focus for MTSU. Their running game has really been non-existent since Octavius Mathers left, and that was eons ago. But they do have a couple of backs back in Martell Petaway from West Virginia, who didn't do a lot his last year, but he was the second leading rusher on the team the previous year, and Amir Rasul from Florida State, and Brad Anderson, a guy that's been here forever, and they bounced him back from receiver to back to receiver to back. And I think their main goal is, and I think with their new offensive coordinator, is to run the football. And they've not been able to do that with the exception of Asher, but they've brought in a very good quarterback. So, Middle's one of those teams. I think the last time they were picked fourth in the East, which they are this year, they ended up playing for the championship. So I think there's a lot of teams. Western Kentucky and Middle are so much alike that you don't think they're going to do a lot, and then all of a sudden they come up and have a great season. So I think this year, particularly in the East, with the teams in the East, it's going to be, I think it's kind of wide open.
Chatting with Monty Hale of the Murfreesboro Post here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today on 101.7 WKRM. We are also on the Eagle 94.5 down
KOM.
in, what did I say, WKRM? I'm sorry. 101.7 WKOM. What I was trying to get to is that we are also on in Winchester today,
which is the most
Eagle
important thing.
94.5. So I want to say hello to our listeners down that way as we discuss a little MTSU football and Coosa East football with Monty Hale. Mont, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the NC State transfer quarterback Bailey Hockman or not, but what are your impressions of him, particularly in Brent Dearman's offense?
He's got a big arm. He comes from a successful program. I think they won 7-8 games last year. I think they were trying to replace him as a starter, but the guy they replaced him with got hurt, and he ended up finishing the year out and had a really good season. So they're excited about him. Another lefty. The lefties have been successful at Middle.
They have had a pretty good run of lefties, haven't they?
Yeah, when you go back to Wes Counts, and then obviously Brent Stockstill, who's now the receivers coach. And I think they're setting very good at quarterback.
How did I not know Wes Counts was a Middle guy? Interesting.
I don't know how you didn't know Wes. You know he does color with Chip.
Look, the only thing I know about Wes is Viper stuff. So that's wild. Anyway,
Wes is a good dude. Monty, you look at Marshall. They kind of finished at the top of this division last year, I think. Got a new
coach.
Got a new coach this time around. Comes off the Alabama staff. What are your thoughts about the Herd and the rest of Coosa East?
Yeah, that was really a unique dynamic. I'm from West Virginia, way back in the day. I mean, way back in the day. And
did you play with Coach
evidently the governor didn't really care much for Doc Holliday, who won 6 bowl games, went 7-3 last year, played for the championship. Usually when you see a coach come in, when a guy's been fired, I mean, it's bad business, but it's not bad business for Charles Huff. He's coming in. He's got the freshman of the year and quarterback Grant Wells. They've got 9 starters back on offense, 4 on defense. So, I mean, clearly the favorites to win that division. But, I mean, you've got FAU sitting there. I think they've got 21 of 22 starters back. So, and then, you throw in Western and Middle, I think Charlotte may be getting a little dismissed a little bit. Coach, their coach is recruited very well, and
recruited very well over this way.
Yeah, and they've got great Will Healy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they've got great resources. I mean, their facilities and whatnot are pretty incredible. And I mean, we saw what the guy did at Austin Peay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they may be getting shortchanged a little bit.
I'm curious about Western, really. I think Western Kentucky has the most questions of anybody in this conference because they've got, 20 transfers?
Right.
I mean, how do you know
that
what
can
to
go,
do?
That can go
either way. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's questionable.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of alluded to earlier. It's just such a great unknown.
Yeah,
I know they have a beast in D'Angelo Malone, though, the preseason defensive player of the year. Who we'll probably see on Sundays. So I mean, they've got players back, but you're right. Their newcomers are everywhere, and who knows? You just got to play it out and see what happens.
Steve Irvine was with us yesterday talking about Coosa West, but he mentioned Western Kentucky and the number of guys that they've gotten out of the transfer portal and a large influx of offensive players out of Houston Baptist, he was saying, at the quarterback, at some receivers as well. So, like you said, Monty, when you're trying to get that many guys ingrained into what you're doing already, it's a kind of a high risk, high reward kind of deal there, I would think.
It really is, and we've all got our opinions on the portal. I think at the end of the day, it's not that great for college football, basketball, or whatever. I mean, you can get a quick fix, but I worry about what it does for high school kids who might be able to go to those schools but end up having to go play at a different level, and you don't know. I mean, they're coming to your school for a reason, because it didn't work out where they were before, for the most part. Now, sometimes it's a little different when you get to graduate transfers that, maybe didn't play a lot. But when I see freshmen and sophomores transferring, well, there's a reason they're transferring, and you got to think it's not always that good of a reason.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed it, ad nauseum, really, on this station. But I mean, the transfer portal is what it is, and at this point, it's it does hurt high school kids, especially in this COVID year where people are able to come back. So, and a lot of those kids who are coming back, it's the ones at the mid-major level, not the highest levels, which can sometimes be an issue. So yeah, it gets a little crazy. And the transfer portal right now, especially in Conference USA, is the wild, wild west.
I mean, absolutely. And MTSU's used. I mean, everybody's used it. And you've even got guys. I know Middle's got a couple from SCS that had very good careers. Those kind of intrigue me more. Even though they played at the SCS level, I think we all know there's a lot of really great players that have come out of that level. You get a couple players from there that have had success, know how to win. I'm kind of more intrigued with them than the guy that was a backup at, wherever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guys who move up, not the ones who move down.
Exactly.
And that's a positive of the transfer portal, is that there are a lot of people who are overlooked and end up going to UNA or Jacksonville State, and the next thing you know, they have a really good season or two, and then they're playing FBS ball,
big
FBS ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think there are positives, there are negatives. It is what it is, but I'm just curious, Monty. As you look over this division, outside of Marshall, which I believe everybody believes is going to win the division, can Middle win this division, or are they a sleeper? Are they a spoiler, or is there another team that could win it that nobody thinks can win it?
Well, and trying to be honest, no, I don't think Middle can win this division. There's too many unknowns. But, you look at injuries and, all the blah, blah, blah that goes on. Middle and Marshall have had a great series, though. I can tell you that. I mean, it's been a battle. To me, the team that would probably, and I don't adhere to polls, but I would agree that FAU, based on what they've got back and the fact that, they didn't go 5-4, and I think they went 4-2 in the league, and with 21 starters back, I think they could be a factor. And I'll be honest with you, not a ton of show prep here. I'm not sure where they even play either, against each other. But I would think FAU, and if I was really going to go kind of a dark horse, I would throw Charlotte in there. I think Middle can be in the upper echelon. I think they can certainly finish higher than 5th, but I don't know if they're good enough right now. I mean, you're talking about a team that's won 7 games the last 2 years. So, I don't know if they're ready to make that huge of a step yet.
Will they go to a bowl game? Could they be bowl eligible? Let's not say bowl game. Could they be bowl eligible?
They could go bowl eligible. You look at their non-conference schedule. Be honest, I mean, in the past, that's been brutal, and the fact that they've made bowl games is somewhat impressive. I mean, it's easy to, I've always said just because you go to a bowl game doesn't mean you had a great season, a good season. Okay. But when you look at some of the teams they've had to play this year, they play Liberty. When they scheduled that game, they probably weren't thinking about Liberty. Liberty may be the best team they play. Oops. They play them. They play Virginia Tech. They open up with Monmouth. Hey, they were a playoff team this past season. And then they go to UConn, which is, they struggled mightily under Randy Edsall's return to UConn. Right. So, they've got a chance to win a couple of those non-conference games, and that's what you got to do. You got to win a couple of your non-conference games and find a way to win 4 or 5 of your conference games.
Yeah, and having to go to San Antonio as a cross division is not ideal. There's a lot to unpack there, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you've got Southern Miss and UTSA as your cross division teams. That's not really ideal, but hey, you never know. It could happen, but it's going to be an interesting year. A lot of fun will be had in Conference USA. I know we will have fun keeping up with it. But, Monty, we appreciate you taking some time out of your day, and glad that you're back. But I'm sure that
and reinvigorated.
And yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got a football tab to get out, Mo.
Oh goodness. Have fun with that. We
same.
We find ourselves in the same position. I think we've done some pretty good prep work for that, so hopefully it won't be the nightmare that it so often is, and I hope yours goes well as well.
Hey, same for you guys.
Hey, thank you. Monty Hale of the Murfreesboro Post joining us here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today on 101.7 WKOM FM and on the Eagle 94.5 down in Franklin County. Appreciate you guys listening today. We're going to wrap up this segment, come back, talk a little SEC Media Days, which means talk a little Mike Leach.
Oh, yeah. We got audio.
Yeah. So stay with us here as we will be returning to the Lee Company Studios here on West 7th. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Yeah, that's trash can juice.
Speak for yourself.
Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, Lawson Smith doing his intern duties.
Intern things. Yep.
Literally, when I went outside, I meant to take that with me and put it in the fridge, and then I was just thinking about the donuts and talking to Coach Mike.
You got distracted by the donuts. There's a shot.
I did. Me distracted by food? What, huh? No, not me.
Go figure, huh?
Would never happen.
Never happen.
Oh, welcome back in. Front Porch Sports Studio Headquarters. WKOM 1017. 94.5 The Eagle. Thank you, Lawson. We appreciate it.
Got you.
You're a good man. I don't care what Mo said about you when you were gone. The side eye. I'm just kidding. Mo didn't say anything bad. He didn't say anything bad at all. Oh, JP Plant walking through the doors.
Hey.
Come on in. Have a seat. Did you bring your own whiskey? I brought mine. I did not bring any.
Don't say it if you don't mean it. Shoot.
I'll get plenty later. We are. We're going to talk a little SEC football here. We didn't get to really get too much into yesterday with
Who was on today?
You know what? I'm not sure who was on today.
Let's see.
But I did want to mention this to you because as we talked about the OU, UT, whatnot, potential announcement, SEC this morning had your 4-team pod proposals. 4-team pods of Pod A, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, South Carolina. B, having Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. C, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. D, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas.
So why would Texas and Texas A&M not be in the same pod, for one? For two, Tennessee and Vanderbilt are not going to be cool with Alabama, Auburn.
Where else do you put Alabama, Auburn?
I think you put Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia.
What?
I was going to say just put them in their own place.
No.
Florida, Georgia? Because Florida and Georgia are going to be okay with that.
Well, do we care? Nah.
Which means Tennessee, Vandy, South Carolina, Kentucky would be the worst pod in the history of sports.
Well, there you go.
It would just be trash can juice.
There you go.
That would be so bad.
There you go.
Could you imagine?
And then you've got Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Texas in the Southwest Conference / Big 8, Big 10, Big 12, whatever. And then
you move Missouri into Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU.
LSU, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Also, when you said that would be the worst division ever, the NFC East would like to talk.
It would be the NFC East of college football.
Yeah.
It would be the winner of that pod would be like 5-7. And then what? I mean, it would be so bad. Oh man, that's rough. That being said, if Texas and Oklahoma do end up in the SEC, I don't think it's going to go to 14 pods. I think it's going to just be two divisions,
two 8-team divisions,
of 8 teams, and then you're just going to play 2 teams across the division, or maybe just 1 team. I don't know, but they're going to go to a 9-team schedule and then drop the forcing you to play another Power 5 team.
That could be.
Which right now the Big Ten plays a 9-game schedule and forces you to have 1 P5 opponent, non-conference. But it also ends up being, it's rarely Ohio State, Oregon. It's usually not that.
Yeah, no, typically not. So today at the SEC Media Day, it's the final day, you had Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, you had Arkansas, Sam Pittman, and you had Auburn, Coach Brian Harsin, and their players. And I think Drinkwitz might have had the line of the day. Apparently, he asked Sankey if there was going to be a 15-yard penalty for horns down when Texas came to the SEC. And Sankey gave him a no comment. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned yesterday, Mike Leach's opening statement was, I'm not really much for opening statements, so fire away with your questions. One of the things he did comment on was Tennessee's interest in him a few years ago. Tennessee was about to hire Mike Leach.
They were about to hire a lot of folks.
Well, Mike Leach was on the short list after.
This is the hiring process that ultimately resulted in Jeremy Pruitt. Yeah,
correct.
They should have hired him.
I agree.
No doubt. But here is what Mike Leach had to say about that situation.
A moment a few years ago when you were at Washington State that you thought you might be the next head coach at Tennessee?
I talked to Tennessee, but that thing never. Well, it did nothing ever got nailed down, and then pretty soon they had a coup d'état there, and you guys can sort that among yourselves, but that's pretty well documented. And then, I didn't end up in the middle of the coup, so lucky for me.
That's legendary.
So lucky for me, he said. Okay.
He's not wrong, though. It was a coup. It was 100% a coup d'etat.
It was an inside job.
It was 1,000% an inside job.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it, but it was. I don't know about you guys, but SEC Media Days overall in the past has just been the entertainment for the off season, because you've got guys like historically Spurrier, obviously with his one-liners, and now Mike Leach, Lane Kiffin, apparently Drinkwitz has some sort of humor in him.
Well, apparently Drinkwitz is channeling Spurrier, and apparently in college his intramural football team was the Spurrier Boys. So
he's emulating the icon of SEC Media Days.
Yeah, the darling, the media darling. Yeah, it's an event. You've been there.
I have. I asked one question of Butch Jones, and I don't remember what it was. Something about quarterbacks, because I was so ticked off from the year before.
I went on, I think, 5 different occasions in a previous life, and
mine was the year that Manziel, maybe the year after Manziel won the Heisman. It was a circus around that dude. Everybody was around him.
Yeah.
I went and found the Vanderbilt kid. I was like, let's go find somebody nobody's talking to.
There you go. Well, first year I covered Vanderbilt, I think was 2007. Vanderbilt had it was after Jay Cutler had left. They had Chris Nixon coming back at quarterback. He was the most experienced quarterback on the roster, wound up being the starter. But they had another kid transferring in. Richard Kovalchek was coming from Arizona, and everybody in the league, including Mr. College Football, Tony Barnhart, had just stated Kovalchek was going to be the starter at Vanderbilt. I think he played maybe mop-up duty in like 3 games that year. Anyway,
Chris Nixon out of Pike County High School, by the way.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite. Let me tell you, those teams back in 04, 05, 06, when he was there, jeez, boy. Anyway, sorry.
He's a special kid. I really enjoy Chris. I was asking Bobby Johnson at SEC Media Days about Richard Kovalchek and getting him in and getting him up to speed in the offense, and Bobby drops it's not rocket surgery.
Oh, yeah.
On me. And there was that pause, and then everybody just busts out.
It's like, he did. Oh, my God, it's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rocket surgery. That was pretty much my biggest memory of SEC Media Days. But it's taken on a life of its own. There was a time when you went down there and you got these interviews and you loaded up for previews and that kind of thing for the next couple of weeks leading up to the season or whatever. It's not that
And then
anymore.
Alabama fans went nuts.
Yeah, it started showing up with ring helmets and that kind of thing.
It's a mess down there.
It really is. It's tough to get anything done.
I hate to bring this back to OU Texas, but 8 minutes ago, Nicole Auerbach with bombshell tweet.
Uh-oh.
Neither Oklahoma nor Texas are on the Big 12 call tonight. Source confirms to The Athletic. All 10 schools were invited to attend.
Oh, jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, if that's not confirmation, that's about as close to confirmation as a press conference right there. I don't know. I'm speechless because I really kind of thought this was just fodder or somebody playing a prank.
As they say, it's getting legs.
The legs have certainly taken hold.
Yeah.
My goodness, folks. This might be a legitimate thing.
And see, here's the thing. Last year proved that you don't have to make schedules 10 years out, 8 years out, whatever. I mean,
I wonder if either of those two teams, Alabama and Texas, have a non-conference game scheduled.
Texas and Oklahoma could conceivably be in the SEC next year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
I also have something I just found while scrolling around on Twitter. Per Adam Vingan, the Predators will open the 2022 season on October 14th at home against the Seattle Kraken.
Now,
That's
what
big.
season is that? Is that the
It's
upcoming
this-
season?
yes, the upcoming
The 21-22.
So we open the season at
home
against
against the Kraken.
So their first game ever will be in Nashville.
Is that their opener as well?
I am not
Dude.
no, it's not. Because last night it was announced that their opener would be against the Golden Knights
In Seattle?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. So so the Kraken will not be released in Nashville then.
That's unfortunate for them. Well, it'll be their first away game experience, though, and I will tell you, that's baptism by fire. I mean, because they're going to come in here and be like, if every game going to be like this and every game is not like this. So the next time they go to an arena, they're going to be like, oh, this is easy.
There you go.
This is not so hard at all.
Yeah, throw them into the toughest environment right
Which,
off the bat.
I mean, obviously these guys have played in Nashville before. They know what to expect, but it's just funny.
As a
because-
team, though, yeah.
It's interesting. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, NFL, NHL, and these maps that everybody keeps putting out that we've talked about. We've talked about, the most passionate fan bases or blah, blah, blah. Barstool's Bench Mob has put out the most passionate fan base in every state
for
basketball.
I just saw that a little bit ago myself.
So let's talk about that when we get a chance to. So we'll be right back on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint, to the Lee Company studio right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as reported by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Hollins Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meat.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
The sports talk show you've always wanted. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. From preps to pros, live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, Lawson Smith, the intern, hanging out with you here on this Thursday evening, 14 minutes to the top of the hour, and we are excited about the next segment, which is what we like to call the hodgepodge. This is everything that we have kind of noted during the show that makes us want to talk a little bit about it. Maybe we didn't do a whole lot of research, so we only have 2 or 3 minutes to talk about it. 2 or 3 minutes worth of information.
The potluck segment.
The potluck segment. That's right. Where we each bring our own topic to this. That's actually not a bad idea. Where we have one of us has one topic that we've not shared with the other, and we have to just off the top of our head give our opinions on. That's actually, hey, look at you.
Hey,
come on.
More than just a pretty face.
Big brain energy over
Get the
here.
big brain energy.
Yeah. Okay.
What's up, Chandler Anderson in the other studio? He'll be on his show later.
I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
So we've talked about the expansion draft. I think we're going to talk about it some more. The NHL, the Seattle Kraken. We talked about them opening their road portion of their schedule at Nashville. Somebody
say something about food.
Chandler said, "I heard food. What? Who's got food?" Chandler does his show from 6 to 7, I think, right in the middle of dinner time. I don't know how he does it. How do you do your show right in the middle of dinner time? I just don't get it, man.
Gastric bypass.
Yeah, he's got gastric bypass. It's like I can barely eat anyway. It's all good.
Kevin Eady tonight, so it's going to be a rock.
Kevin Eady.
Oh.
In studio.
Oh, we might crash.
Yeah, 6 to 7.
Okay.
6 to 8. Wow.
We might need to. We might have questions.
We're going to talk about all things athletics. We're going. There's
Look
Kevin
at
right now.
Kevin
all
Eady.
things athletics, all things
So
sports. as
Central
far as,
Athletics.
Concussions.
Concussions.
Things like that. Football, basketball, all the stuff.
There he comes now.
There's the man, the myth, the
You
legend.
just saw him on the West 7th cam there, actually. Kevin Eady, getting ready to be on Chandler Anderson's show. So anyway.
My God, that's Kevin Eady's music.
Yeah. The Kraken expansion draft yesterday. Callie Yarncroc was their pick from the Nashville Predators, and it was announced by Marshawn Lynch. And
In a very funny, in a beast mode kind of way.
as only Beast Mode could do it.
At
we taking the boy Callie.
I thought he was gonna. When he was announcing it, he said with the I thought he was mouthing the F word, but no. After further review, with the first is what he said.
First.
I was surprised that he said anything with media in the room.
He was just announcing the pick so he didn't get fined.
Yeah, exactly.
Love Marshawn Lynch.
Take care of your mentals. Take care of your
chickens.
chickens.
There you go. Yeah.
Callie.
Yeah.
Callie.
If I mispronounce your name, just tap me and I'll get it right next time. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, at least losing Callie Yarncroc, the consolation prize was that it was announced by Beast Mode.
There you go. Yeah. So
Worth it.
That was the Preds' contribution to the Kraken. I thought that was really cool.
I had the misfortune of watching the whole presentation the whole hour. It was so very cringy. It was just.
It wasn't good?
It was not good. ESPN did a poor job, I think.
Well, get ready because ESPN is about to be broadcasting everything NHL. Now, I think it's cool that they are because it's nice to have the ability to, with what they're going to do. I think the NHL is going to thrive in this. But the problem is that it's still ESPN, and they don't do a great job in anything other than college football.
I agree. I mean, shoot, they had a octopus reveal one of the picks. I am not joking. They had an octopus, and it moved out of the way, and there was the pick. It was so dumb.
Was it an actual live octopus?
Yes, in a tank.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Now is this ESPN's fault or is this the Kraken's fault?
That may have been a Kraken
ESPN, and also the host, whatever. I don't know his name, but he was also just awful. It was bad. I thought the whole presentation of the whole thing was just. I didn't like it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's
my opinion.
There you go. He didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
Okay.
Lawson didn't like it.
Well, if Lawson doesn't like it, what are we doing? I don't know.
It's a valid question.
They need me over there to do better.
There you go. Send them your stuff.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about it in that segment with Bernard Childress, but the NFL has added additional COVID-19 vaccination incentive for players, threatening forfeits and loss of game checks if an outbreak among unvaccinated players causes an unresolvable disruption in the regular season schedule. There are a lot of things packed in here. One, it appears that if the outbreak is only among unvaccinated players enough that it keeps you from being able to play the game, then everyone forfeits. So it seems to me that this is kind of a solution looking for a problem because I don't think there's going to be that many unvaccinated players across the league, and certainly not enough on one team to create a unresolvable schedule issue.
I don't know. I think I saw somebody.
DeAndre
I didn't
Hopkins,
look.
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I think there's an all unvaccinated team out there.
And then whatever that
Really?
Bills receiver is or something.
The entire
Cole
team?
Beasley.
Yeah,
no,
that loser.
Like an all-pro team and all unvaccinated team. Cole Beasley and DeAndre.
Yeah,
Hopkins
but there's not enough on one team to create an unresolvable schedule issue. If the unvaccinated dude gets COVID and there's only one or two on the team, then that's not really one. It's not an outbreak, and two, it's just two players.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I just think that they are they trying to force everybody to get vaccinated? Maybe,
I think they care about the money more. I think they want the games to go through, and through what the past season they had to reschedule so many, that creates a bunch of problems. So I think they're just putting their foot down because they want things to run smoothly.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. Wanting things to run smoothly.
Right.
There's also nothing wrong with wanting people to not get sick.
Well, with risking getting too much into the vaccine and COVID as a whole, I believe if you're vaccinated from COVID, we know that it at least somewhat knocks down the symptoms / effect of COVID. We should probably have Chandler Anderson in this studio right now talking. If we were going to talk about this is the segment for him. But I don't believe that it's necessary, even if a vaccinated player tests positive for COVID, to necessarily keep them out of the game, because I don't think that, when you have one vaccinated versus another vaccinated, I don't think the contact is an issue, especially in football where there's not that much prolonged contact anyway, other than maybe in the trenches. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't like the idea of NC State where these kids were not able to play because of this, because of they tested positive for COVID. Well, I mean, I don't know how you keep them out in this climate that we know that you really got to have prolonged contact to transmit it. So I don't know. I think it's important to keep players out. I don't know.
Okay.
That's just the way that I have seen it, the way that we have seen the CDC guidelines evolve with the vaccinations. I don't necessarily think it's important to be worried about people who are vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, we're not even going to test you. I mean, unless you're sick and you want to go get tested. But I don't think it's necessary to test everybody every day. Not that they're going to. I'm just saying I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. I think this particular thing is...
I think it's going to bear watching as we go along because obviously a number of NFL players are bothered by being asked to be vaccinated and having some consequences for not being vaccinated. So we'll see how it progresses.
Boston College has vaccinated its entire football team and coaching staff after COVID-19. Jeff Hafley, their coach, said, though the Eagles did help one player who was unwilling to get the shot transfer.
Okay.
You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. So,
well,
they showed him. They were just like the door.
There you go.
So, I mean, I guess they're a private school. They can do that. Real quick, we got about 2 minutes. Saw a map that that shows the most passionate basketball fan base in every state, put out by Barstool's Bench Mob, and data compiled by South Harmon Institute of Technology, acronymed, something we can't say on these airwaves. Yeah, it's from a movie. Vanderbilt, the most passionate fan base in basketball in this state. Do you agree, or is it Memphis?
I think
Vanderbilt has fans.
I think both Memphis and Tennessee fans would
I have a word?
Yeah.
Here's the most interesting one of them all.
The South Harmon Institute of Technology, I think, might have missed on that one.
You think it's a very good product of the South Harmon
There we
Institute
go.
of Technology?
Exactly.
I don't think they missed. I think they got it just right for them. Maine in Arizona. Maine is what we see here in Arizona.
Good Lord.
So I don't know how that works, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's going to do it for our show today. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be back tomorrow on WKOM 101.7 FM. Thank you guys for hanging out with us down at WZYX 94.5 The Eagle. Really excited to get to you guys, and we'll see you again on Tuesday of next week. Got a big show tomorrow. Make sure that you join us because it's going to be every bit as entertaining as this one, if not more. If you missed any part of the show, sm-tnsports.com. The podcast is available for you there. All right, that's going to do it. We appreciate it. If we don't see you Saturday at Experience Spring Hill, we're going to be upset, so come see us. For now, for Mo Patton, Lawson Smith, I'm Chris Yao saying have a great day and stay cool, Columbia.
This is Eli Gold, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.